Samuel Harris Altman stands as one of the most influential and controversial figures in the contemporary technology landscape, having emerged from the entrepreneurial ecosystem of Silicon Valley to become the public face of what many consider the most significant technological revolution since the advent of the Internet. Born on April 22, 1985, in Chicago, Illinois, Altman has navigated his way through multiple iterations of technological innovation, from his early ventures in mobile technology to his current position as the chief executive officer of OpenAI, the organization responsible for creating ChatGPT and pushing the boundaries of artificial intelligence toward what he believes will be artificial general intelligence and eventually superintelligence. The trajectory of Altman's career reflects the broader evolution of Silicon Valley culture and the technology industry's growing ambitions. His early life in St. Louis, Missouri, where he was raised by his dermatologist mother, provided few obvious indicators of the global influence he would eventually wield. However, his formative years were marked by an entrepreneurial spirit and an early fascination with technology that would define his subsequent career choices. His decision to attend Stanford University to study computer science placed him at the epicenter of technological innovation during a period of rapid digital transformation. The Stanford experience proved formative for Altman, though not in the traditional academic sense. He dropped out after 2 years, saying later that he had learned more playing poker with classmates than he had attending lectures by professors. This anecdote reveals much about Altman's approach to learning and risk assessment, skills that would prove crucial in his later ventures. The poker metaphor is particularly apt, as his career has been characterized by calculated risks, strategic thinking, and an ability to read people and situations that mirrors the psychological dimensions of high-stakes gambling. His first significant entrepreneurial venture came with the founding of Loopt in 2005, a location-based social networking application that predated the smartphone revolution, but anticipated many of the trends that would later define mobile computing. Loopt represented one of the early attempts to create location-aware social applications, allowing users to share their whereabouts with friends and discover nearby social opportunities. While the company never achieved the massive scale that Altman would later associate with successful technology ventures, it provided crucial experience in product development, team building, and the complex dynamics of technology startups. The sale of Loopt in 2012 for $43 million marked Altman's transition from entrepreneur to investor and ecosystem builder. This transition coincided with his involvement with Y Combinator, the prestigious startup accelerator that had become synonymous with Silicon Valley's approach to nurturing early-stage technology companies. Altman began part-time work at Y Combinator in 2011, and his contributions caught the eye of co-founder Paul Graham, who named Sam as the president of Y Combinator in February 2014. Altman's tenure as president of Y Combinator represented a significant evolution in both his career and the accelerator's approach to startup development. Under his leadership, Y Combinator expanded its scope and influence dramatically, overseeing the funding and growth of over 1,000 startups annually. This period established Altman as a central figure in the Silicon Valley ecosystem, with his decisions affecting the trajectory of hundreds of companies and thousands of entrepreneurs. His investment philosophy emphasized scalability, technological innovation, and the potential for massive market disruption, principles that would later inform his approach to artificial intelligence development. The Y Combinator experience also provided Altman with insights into the patterns and dynamics that characterize successful technology companies. His role required him to evaluate countless business proposals, mentor founders, and identify the subtle factors that distinguish successful ventures from failures. This experience cultivated his ability to recognize emerging technological trends and assess their potential for widespread adoption, skills that would prove crucial in his later assessment of artificial intelligence's transformative potential. During this period, Altman also co-founded Hydrazine Capital in 2012, a venture capital fund that allowed him to pursue investments outside the Y Combinator ecosystem. The fund made strategic investments in companies like Zenefits, BuildZoom, Verbling, and Soylent, demonstrating Altman's interest in diverse technological applications and his willingness to support unconventional approaches to established industries. These investments reflected his broader philosophy about technology's potential to reshape traditional business models and social structures. The transition from Y Combinator to OpenAI marked the most significant inflection point in Altman's career, representing a shift from supporting entrepreneurial ecosystems to directly pursuing what he considers the most important technological development in human history. His involvement with OpenAI began in 2015 as a co-founder, alongside notable figures including Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and several leading artificial intelligence researchers. The organization's initial mission focused on ensuring that artificial general intelligence would benefit all humanity, a goal that reflected both ambitious technological objectives and serious ethical considerations. OpenAI's early years were characterized by a commitment to open-source research and transparent development practices, principles that aligned with the organization's stated mission of democratizing access to advanced artificial intelligence capabilities. However, the organization's evolution toward a more commercial model, particularly following the departure of Elon Musk and the transition to a for-profit structure, reflected the complex tensions between idealistic goals and practical necessities that characterize many technology ventures. Altman's assumption of the chief executive officer role at OpenAI in 2019 coincided with the organization's development of increasingly sophisticated language models, culminating in the release of ChatGPT in November 2022. The unprecedented public response to ChatGPT, which gained over 100 million users within 2 months of its launch, established Altman as the most visible spokesperson for artificial intelligence development and transformed public discourse about the technology's potential implications. The success of ChatGPT also thrust Altman into a complex web of technological, economic, and political considerations that extend far beyond the traditional scope of technology entrepreneurship. His public statements about artificial intelligence development have influenced regulatory discussions, shaped investor expectations, and contributed to broader social debates about the technology's impact on employment, education, and human creativity. This visibility has made him both a celebrated innovator and a target of criticism from those who question the rapid pace of AI development and its potential consequences. One of the most dramatic episodes in Altman's career occurred in November 2023, when OpenAI's board of directors abruptly dismissed him as chief executive officer, citing concerns about his communication with the board and his approach to AI safety. The dismissal triggered an unprecedented crisis within the organization, with the majority of OpenAI's employees threatening to resign unless Altman was reinstated. The episode revealed the extent to which Altman had become synonymous with OpenAI's mission and highlighted the complex governance challenges facing organizations developing powerful artificial intelligence systems. The resolution of the crisis, which saw Altman return as CEO within 5 days alongside a restructured board, demonstrated both his importance to the organization and the broader technology industry's confidence in his leadership. However, the episode also highlighted the tensions between rapid technological development and careful safety considerations that characterize the current phase of AI advancement. Altman's vision for artificial intelligence development extends well beyond the current capabilities of systems like ChatGPT. He has indicated that advances in the technology could lead to more noticeable adoption of AI in the workplace in the coming year, in the form of AI agents, autonomous systems that can perform specific tasks without human intervention, potentially taking actions for days at a time. This vision of AI agents represents a significant evolution from current conversational AI systems toward more autonomous and capable artificial intelligence. His recent writings and public statements reflect an almost messianic confidence in artificial intelligence's transformative potential. He has declared that we are past the event horizon, the takeoff has started, and that humanity is close to building digital superintelligence, suggesting that the current phase of AI development represents the beginning of a fundamental transformation in human capability and social organization. Such statements position Altman not merely as a technology executive, but as a prophet of technological transformation. The economic implications of Altman's vision are staggering. He believes that, in 2025, we may see the first AI agents join the workforce and materially change the output of companies, a prediction that suggests artificial intelligence will move beyond supporting human workers to potentially replacing them in many contexts. This transition raises profound questions about economic inequality, employment patterns, and the distribution of benefits from AI advancement that Altman acknowledges but does not fully address. His approach to these challenges reflects a fundamentally optimistic view of technology's role in human progress. He continues to believe that iteratively putting great tools in the hands of people leads to great, broadly distributed outcomes, a philosophy that emphasizes democratized access to powerful technologies rather than centralized control. This perspective reflects his broader Silicon Valley background and its faith in market mechanisms to distribute technological benefits. However, Altman's leadership has also attracted significant criticism from various quarters. Labor advocates and social critics argue that his approach to AI development prioritizes technological advancement over worker protection and social stability. Environmental concerns about the massive energy consumption required for training and running large AI models have also drawn scrutiny, particularly as OpenAI scales its operations to meet growing demand for its services. The political dimensions of Altman's career have become increasingly complex as artificial intelligence has emerged as a strategic priority for governments worldwide. His recent declaration that he finds himself politically homeless as the Democratic Party is no longer aligned with encouraging a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship reflects the growing tension between technological innovation and regulatory oversight that characterizes the current political environment. This political positioning reveals the challenging balance that technology leaders must strike between advocating for their industry's interests and maintaining relationships with policymakers who are increasingly concerned about the societal implications of rapid technological change. Altman's public statements suggest a preference for minimal regulatory intervention, though he has also acknowledged the need for some oversight of AI development, particularly as systems become more powerful. The international dimensions of Altman's influence cannot be overlooked, as OpenAI's technologies have been adopted globally and have influenced AI development strategies in countries worldwide. His role in shaping international conversations about AI governance, safety standards, and competitive dynamics positions him as a key figure in what many consider a new form of technological diplomacy. The decisions made at OpenAI under his leadership have implications that extend far beyond American technology markets to influence global economic and political relationships. Altman's personal life, while generally maintained with relative privacy, has occasionally intersected with his public role in ways that illuminate broader social and cultural questions. His marriage to Oliver Mulheron in January 2024 represents one aspect of his personal identity that intersects with broader discussions about representation and leadership in the technology industry. His Jewish heritage and vegetarian lifestyle, while personal choices, also contribute to his public identity in an industry where personal brand and corporate leadership are increasingly intertwined. The intellectual foundations of Altman's approach to artificial intelligence development reflect a synthesis of Silicon Valley entrepreneurship, technological optimism, and what might be characterized as techno-utopian thinking. His frequent references to the transformative potential of AI suggest a worldview in which technological progress can address fundamental human challenges, from disease and poverty to the limitations of human cognitive capacity. This perspective aligns with the broader Silicon Valley tradition of viewing technology as a primarily beneficial force, while acknowledging but minimizing potential negative consequences. His educational background and early career experiences have clearly influenced his approach to risk assessment and strategic thinking. The lessons he drew from poker, particularly regarding probability assessment and psychological insight, appear to inform his business strategies and public communications. His willingness to make bold predictions about AI timelines and capabilities reflects a comfort with uncertainty and high-stakes decision-making that mirrors successful poker playing. The organizational culture that Altman has fostered at OpenAI reflects his broader management philosophy and vision for AI development. The company's emphasis on rapid iteration, ambitious goal setting, and transparent communication about both successes and challenges mirrors practices that proved successful during his Y Combinator tenure. However, The scale and complexity of AI development present challenges that differ significantly from traditional startup environments, requiring new approaches to team coordination, research management, and safety verification. Recent developments in AI technology, including the emergence of competing systems from other companies and countries, have intensified the competitive pressures that Altman must navigate. OpenAI's recent decision to delay the release of its open model indefinitely for further safety testing demonstrates the complex balance between competitive pressure and safety considerations that characterizes the current AI development environment. The safety considerations that increasingly dominate discussions of AI development represent perhaps the most challenging aspect of Altman's current role. His public statements suggest awareness of potential risks associated with advanced AI systems, including the possibility that superintelligent AI could pose existential threats to humanity. However, his continued emphasis on rapid development and deployment suggests confidence that these risks can be managed through careful engineering and responsible development practices. The economic model that underlies OpenAI's current operations raises important questions about the sustainability and accessibility of advanced AI systems. The substantial computational resources required for training and operating large language models create significant barriers to entry and potentially concentrate control over AI capabilities in the hands of well-funded organizations. Altman's stated commitment to democratizing AI access must be balanced against the practical realities of resource requirements and business sustainability. The educational implications of AI systems like ChatGPT represent another area where Altman's influence extends beyond technology into social policy and cultural change. The integration of AI tools into educational environments raises questions about learning methodologies, assessment practices, and the fundamental goals of education that Altman's public statements suggest he views as opportunities for positive transformation rather than challenges to be managed. Looking toward the future, Altman's vision for AI development suggests a trajectory toward increasingly autonomous and capable systems that could fundamentally alter human society and economics. His acknowledgement that the world will not change all at once, and that life will go on mostly the same in the short run, suggests awareness of the gradual nature of social change, even in the context of rapid technological advancement. The legacy that Altman is building through his work at OpenAI and his broader influence on AI development will likely be assessed based on whether the benefits of advanced AI systems are distributed broadly and whether potential risks are successfully managed. His optimistic vision of AI's potential must ultimately be judged against the actual outcomes of the technologies his organization develops and deploys. In conclusion, Sam Altman represents a unique figure in contemporary technology leadership, combining entrepreneurial experience, strategic vision, and public communication skills in service of what he considers the most important technological development in human history. His journey from mobile app entrepreneur to AI industry leader reflects broader trends in Silicon Valley culture and technological development, while positioning him at the center of debates about artificial intelligence's role in human society. Whether his optimistic vision of AI's transformative potential proves accurate will likely determine not only his personal legacy, but also the trajectory of human technological development in the coming decades. His influence extends far beyond the boundaries of any single company or technology to encompass fundamental questions about human progress, technological governance, and the distribution of power in an increasingly AI-enabled world.